grade.
Oh my goodness.
And I got a toy from Walmart, and it came with its own knife, and I'm using it for the online knife.
That's perfect. Yeah, a good, safe plastic knife. That's perfect. Good, Connor. Okay, Lane, do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. I have one of those book things.
You have one of the book things?
Victory book.
Oh, good. Okay, so put that in the comments because you get a star for that. All right. Any other questions, guys? Rihanna?
Yesterday was my mat chat.
Good. So go ahead and put that in the little chat, and we'll go over all of those at the very end, just like normal. We're still going to talk about all the stars and the victory books and the 5 mat chats. We'll talk about all that stuff at the very end, you guys. Okay. Any questions about scheduling or anything like that, Austin?
This was
So what is going to be the club for next month?
So we're doing breaking and staff.
So staff is next month?
Yes, sir, and board breaking. Board breaking and staff. Okay, any other questions? It's good to see everybody on here. Okay, all right, so we'll go ahead and get started. We are on chapter 8 right now. Who can share some things that they have learned from this book so far? Who wants to share something? We'll recap, just like we kind of have been the last couple times. Cora.
So mine's not working for the audio, but I've learned that our minds are smarter than any electronic.
Yeah, very good. Yes, so our brains are more intelligent than even the most intelligent computers. Good. What else? Okay, and then Cora, make sure you go ahead and mute yourself back. Okay, what else, guys? Hayden?
I've learned that you hear mostly negative things in your brain and that you can rewire it. And most of the things that you hear in your brain are unconscious thinking.
Good. Okay, guys, if you have background noise, make sure you are muted. Yeah, so like Hayden just said, a majority of what we hear or what we take in is negative. Who remembers what the percentage was? What percentage of what we hear is negative? Emily?
really?
What is it, Emily?
I don't know what it is.
72. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, guys, I am gonna go ahead and have to mute everybody because it's hard to hear because some people aren't muted. So I'm gonna mute everybody and you'll just have to raise your hand, and when I call on you, unmute yourself, okay? All right. Emily, what was the percentage?
72.
Close, not 72. It's a little bit higher. Hannah?
77%.
77, good. And Emily, you were really close. Good. So 77% of everything we hear is negative. Now, is it just what we hear? Or what else? What else affects it? What about our other senses? What did we learn about those? Avina?
What we think.
Yeah, what we think. So our thoughts are made up by everything that we soak in through our 5 senses. So everything you hear, see, taste, touch, smell, all of those things go into what our thoughts are and are either positive or negative. Majority are negative though. What else have you guys learned so far? Brianna?
You can rewire your brain.
Yes. So we said that our brains were like a computer. We're taking in all of these things and that goes into our brain's programming. So that's kind of how our brain is wired. But we are able to rewire our brain. And as kids, you guys are able to choose how your brain is wired. How do we do that? How do we wire our brain or rewire our brain? Cora? Oh, I can't hear you, Cora. Who wants to help her out? Is that Logan? Which one of you is raising your hand? I can't see you from there. Logan or Jacob? Who's raising their hand? Both of them are. You guys, what is it? How do you change how your brain is wired?
Instead of remembering like the time something bad happened, you remember the stuff that good thing happened.
Good, yeah. So positive self-talk and remembering the positive, focusing on the positive instead of the negative, right? So you can have a good or bad day based off of 10 seconds, but there are a lot of seconds in a day. So 10 seconds should not be able to control your entire day. But it's really easy if you have 10 seconds of something bad that happens to you for you to be like, I'm having a bad day, and to focus on the negative, right? But instead, if we can remember to focus on the positive, the 10 seconds that something good happened, and focus on that and make yourself have a really good day. So it's all of our thoughts though. So focusing on the positive instead of the negative, and controlling what is being put into our program, because we do have that control. We do control that because we control our thoughts. Very good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started with chapter 8. This one is called the self-management sequence. And again, we're talking about this book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. After you have been on 5 of these virtual mat chats, I'll mail you a copy of this book. I think we've already mailed out like 25 copies, which is awesome. Okay, so this chapter is talking, he says this: there's a natural process by which success or failure in managing or controlling our lives takes place. So there's a series of things that happen that determine whether we succeed and do really well at something or we fail. So we're going to talk about what those steps are. But if we can understand what that series is, we can control it. We can change it, and we can see, oh, okay, step 1, I'm doing really well. Step 2, I'm doing really well. Step 3, I'm not doing very well there. So that's where I need to make a change, right? Or we can figure out the very first step is affecting everything. So that's where I need to make a change. So we're going to talk about those steps. But when we're not aware of what's causing our success and failure, we're kind of leaving it up to chance whether we succeed or not. And so that's what he talks about. If you are not, you could be, okay. He said, I like this quote: if we leave our lives up to chance, chances are we'll fail. So we need to be proactive and take initiative and control our success or our failure. Because if you just say, well, maybe I'll succeed, maybe I'll fail, we'll see what happens, then what's probably going to happen? You're probably going to fail, right? Okay. He says success is always the result of something else leading up to it. So success doesn't just happen. You don't just wake up and become a millionaire one day. Who thinks they could wake up one day and just happen to be a millionaire? You think it's going to be likely if that's what you're hoping on and banking on happening? No, not so likely. So what we have to do is we have to be proactive, take the initiative, and take action in achieving our goals. So we've talked a lot about in previous chapters, kind of, if anyone's read the book, The Secret, it's saying what thoughts you put out. If you put out positive thoughts, positive things happen to you. If you focus on how this is going to happen, you're going to win, you're going to do this, all these things, what's going to happen to you. Whereas if you focus on, I'm going to fail, I'm going to lose this race, I'm going to get all these, that's what's going to happen to you. And that's kind of the concept that's in The Secret. My only thing that I don't love about the book, The Secret, is that it's not just your thoughts that determine. Just because you're positive about something, you think positively about something, doesn't mean it's going to happen. You still have to take action, and you have to make it happen. Now, your thoughts are what drives that action, but you still have to take the action. So this is kind of what this is talking about. Success is the result of something that happens, something that we do. Something leads up to success or failure. Okay. So he says in here, whether you succeed or fail, it was because of you. It was because of yourself. All right. So the self-management sequence, those 5 steps, those are the self-management sequence. So these are the 5 steps that control our success or failure. Number 1 is behavior. Everyone write that down. Number 1, behavior. So who can tell me what behavior is? What is behavior? What is your behavior or someone else's behavior, human behavior? Luca?
Behavior is like the way you act.
That was perfect. A perfect definition. Yeah. It's the way that we act. It's what we do. So I'm going to read directly what he says out of here. Behavior is our actions. It's how we act, what we do. Each moment of the day will determine whether or not we will be successful in that moment or that day in anything we do. So yeah, behavior is what we do or what we not do. So if we at school, if you choose to do your classwork assignment or you choose not to, right now, I think everyone in here is in Clay County schools. So you guys started virtual schooling today. Who has worked on some of their schoolwork so far? Good, good. I see a majority of people have. I know some of you guys are homeschooled. That's a little bit different. You guys don't have that same thing. You were homeschooled anyways, I mean. So we got up this morning, we had breakfast, and we got our homeschooling, virtual schooling done for the day, right? So, but that's your behavior. Your behavior is what you do or do not do. So if it's time for bed and you still haven't touched your schoolwork, that's your behavior. That's what you chose not to do. Okay. So this is the step that most directly controls our success or failure, right? Would you guys agree with that? That what you do or do not do is going to be whether you're successful or you fail? Like getting straight A's. If you choose to do all your homework, to study, to work really, really hard, do you think that you're going to get good grades? You're going to be pretty likely to get good grades, right? Now, do you think that if you choose not to do your homework, you sleep during class, you don't bring your supplies, you miss a lot of school, do you think that you're going to do well in school? Shake your head, yes or no. What do you guys think? No, you're not. Yeah, and that's your behavior. That's the actions that you're taking or not taking to achieve your goal. So that's the one step that directly controls whether you succeed or fail the most. I'm going to ask someone to share all 5 steps with me, so make sure you remember it. Number 1 is behavior. Okay. Actually, he talks about, I don't like school. I don't like where I am in the classroom. I don't like my teacher, things like that. And because he's focusing on all that negative, he starts to stop paying attention. He's not doing his homework, things like that. So having that attitude is a big portion there as well. Okay. All right, I'm going to read this line as well. It does not take a wizard to tell us that when we do the right things, there's always a better chance that things will work better for us than when we do the wrong things. Okay, so moving on to the next step. Why do we do the things that we do? Why do we do what we do? So what do you think drives our behavior? What do you think? What do you guys think it is? What do you think is it's going to be the second step? First step is behavior. There's something that causes us to have that behavior. What is it? And I kind of mentioned it a minute ago. Austin? What is it, Austin? You're unmuted.
Our mood.
Our mood or our feelings. Very good. Good, Austin. So number 2, action step number 2 is our feelings. So everyone write that down, our feelings. Now, what are our feelings? I mean, I think everyone kind of knows what feelings are, right? So we're not gonna go too much into that, but every action we take is first filtered through our feelings. Okay. So if I'm deciding if I'm gonna do my homework right now, my virtual schooling, if I'm gonna decide right now if I'm gonna do my homework or not, my schoolwork or not, it's being filtered through how I feel about it. If I'm like super excited because I get to do it with my mom and I get to eat my French toast breakfast while I'm doing it, I'm all happy about it, then yeah, I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna do really well. Like, oh, I don't want to do my schoolwork. And I have a bad negative feelings towards it. I'm a lot less likely to have good behavior towards it. Mackenzie, I'm gonna go ahead and mute you, sweetie. Okay, so a good example he talks about with this one when talking about feelings is kids eating foods they don't like. So we talked about people's choices with foods they like and don't like and picky eaters and stuff like that. Who has ever seen somebody, maybe a parent made them try something, made them eat vegetables, made them eat their chicken, made them eat something, or someone got them to try something that they didn't want to eat, that they said they didn't like? Who has ever seen that happen? Okay, so a lot of times it's not necessarily that one food is better than other foods or worse than other foods. what it usually is it's your feelings towards the food. Okay, we talked about this last time, what you were thinking about it and that kind of thing. So if you see this kid eating this food that he says he doesn't like and he hates it and he doesn't want to do it, he talks about how he's seen kids act like the world was ending because of food they were eating. And the food's not even bad. It's just they've decided that they hate it. They don't want to do it. They don't like it. And it's that attitude and those feelings that are guiding that behavior. Connor, will you please stop shining that light at everybody? Thank you. Okay. Another example he gave is a woman whose biggest fear was flying on airplanes. Okay. Who here is scared of flying on airplanes? I'm not. I love flying on airplanes. But some people are, everybody has fears, right? Some people are scared of heights. Some people are scared of water. Some people are scared of whatever it might be. It's scared of the dark, whatever it is. So those are your feelings towards something. So her feelings towards flying is that she was terrified of it. She lived in the Midwest and all of her family lived on the East Coast. And she would drive to visit her family and spend 3 days driving because she was that scared of flying. So the action she was taking, the behavior was choosing to drive and choosing not to fly, but the feeling causing it was her fear. Okay. All right. Now it's not just liking or disliking something or having joy or fear. All of our feelings, all of our emotions are impacting our behaviors. Okay. So on to step number 3. What causes you to have the feelings that are so much a part of you? So what do you guys think? I'm going to read these questions. What causes you to have the feelings that are so much a part of you? Did you get them by accident? What creates the way you feel about something? Is it chance? Never. Your feelings are created, controlled, and determined by your what? What do you guys think determines your feelings? Keelan?
Your attitude.
Your attitude. Very good. So step number 3 is your attitude. Exactly right. Okay. So step number 1 was your behavior. Your behavior is caused by your feelings. Your feelings are caused by your attitude. It's exactly right. What is your attitude? What is your attitude? Who can tell me what your attitude is? What is an attitude? Anybody? Okay, so your attitude is your perspective on how you view things. Okay, so we talked about homeschooling right now, virtual right now. A lot of people, I know most of you guys have a really good attitude about it. You guys are excited about it. Well, that's the feeling, but you guys are having a really good attitude towards virtual schooling. And because of that, you're really excited about it. You're making it fun. You're all of these different things and you're getting it done. So the attitude is the way that you view something, your perspective on something. And who in here has seen or knows somebody who seems to have a good attitude about everything? Who knows somebody like that? Who just is always positive, always has a good attitude about stuff. I love being around people like that. I love it. But yeah, some people do, very few, but some people have a positive attitude about everything. Now, raise your hand if you know or have known somebody who seems to have a bad attitude about everything. Yes, a bad attitude about everything. And that bad attitude causes bad feelings, which cause bad behavior, right? Okay, so most people have a combination of the two. They have some good attitude, some bad attitude, a combination of the two. And we can kind of control, that's something that so in all of these steps, you guys can say, okay, I have a good attitude, but sometimes my feelings are bad, or sometimes this is where you guys are looking and deciding what action steps you need to work on. All right, but most of us have a combination of good and bad. But whatever the attitude you have is, that's going to control how you feel about it, right? So if you have a really good attitude, you're going to have positive feelings, whether it's joy or it's excitement or it's anything like that. And if you have a bad attitude, it causes bad feelings about it. That also, as a result, determines how we will be towards it. And because of that, whether we're going to do well or poorly at something, whether we're going to succeed or fail. Okay, so a good attitude is essential to any kind of achievement. All right, so my next question, where do we get our attitudes? Where do we get our attitudes? Are we born with them? Do they appear out of nowhere? Where do you guys think that we get our attitudes? Jonathan, you're unmuted.
Gratitude.
Gratitude. So gratitude is an attitude. Yeah, but so if you're grateful for something, where do you think that how do you think you learn to be grateful for something? Where do you guys think? Keelan? Or actually, hold on, I'm gonna let Caleb answer because he hasn't answered one. Caleb White, where do you think our attitudes come from? Trying to unmute you.
Around great people.
Being around good people. Okay, Mackenzie, that's good. Mackenzie?
Your thoughts and actions.
Your thoughts and actions. Okay, Keelan?
Your mind.
Your mind. Austin?
Your parents.
Your parents, that's a big one. Okay, so all of our attitudes towards something are caused by our beliefs. Okay, our attitudes are created, controlled, and influenced entirely by our beliefs. So what are our beliefs? What are beliefs, you guys? Who can tell me what beliefs are? Somebody that hasn't answered a question. I have the same 4 people answering all of them. I appreciate you guys. What are our beliefs? What does it mean if you believe in something? I see Cora and Keelan and Mackenzie all raising their hand because they have been the whole time. All right, Avina. Avina.
Guys, what you think is true?
What was that?
What we think is true.
What you think is true. Yeah, exactly. Your beliefs are what you think is true. Good. Okay. So what we believe about anything will determine our attitudes about it, create our feelings, direct our actions, and in each instance, help us do well or poorly, succeed or fail. You guys see how these steps are all kind of lining up with each other? Okay. So one thing that he talks about is our beliefs don't have to be true. They don't have to be facts. We just have to believe them. So we talked about, and this author, he was told that he had no musical ability. And so because of that, he had the belief that he had no musical ability. It wasn't true. He was able to play the piano years later, but he believed that. And so it kind of becomes a fact in your brain's programming, right? But it's not necessarily true. So, and it doesn't have to be true. It's just what you believe to be true. Okay. Our beliefs can make something appear to be different as well. So the way we believe in something can affect how we see it and what we think about it. A good example of this that he gives is, actually he says in here, it's possible tomorrow morning in a classroom in our country, so probably not in a classroom, but maybe in somebody's house in a virtual classroom, there's a little boy or girl who believes that another nation is bad, that another country is bad. And it's very possible that in a different country, there's a child in a virtual classroom that believes that our country is bad. That doesn't necessarily mean that our country is bad or good, but that's just what they believe. So beliefs are not always facts. Here's a really important piece of this one. He talks about a few different examples of beliefs and how they can impact your success and your failure. So let's say that you believed you had trouble making friends. Who thinks it's hard to make friends? Who thinks they have a hard time talking to new people and making new friends? Okay, so let's say you have the belief that you don't make friends easily, or that you're not accepted by other people, maybe that you're not popular, that people don't always like you right away, things like that. That's a belief that you have, right? It's not necessarily true, not necessarily false, but it's a belief that you have. And because of that, it becomes the truth, right? So what he says here, as a result of that belief, you find yourself standing back at social gatherings. You find yourself being self-conscious. You find yourself being unsure of what to say to people. maybe at work or at school, you miss opportunities to answer a question, or at work to present an idea, even if it's better than the other ideas that are being presented, because you think that people aren't going to like you, that you don't make friends very easily. So it's one of those things, part of our programming, the beliefs that we have, we put them in our permanent programming and we let them affect our lives. Okay. So another, he says in here, kind of the last line talking about that example. Let's say that you knew you wanted to be intelligent and witty and fun, but you believed on the outside that you just didn't measure up. Do you guys think that whether you want to be popular, liked, have lots of friends, if you believe that people don't like you, do you think you're gonna ever be that? Ever have a lot of friends? No. Same thing with school. We talked about this already, but if you have the belief that you're not good at school or that you're a C student, that's what's going to eventually happen, because as a result of your belief, your feelings, your actions, your feelings, your attitude, your feelings, and your behavior are all impacted. Okay. Okay, so I want you guys to give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. If you tell yourself you cannot do something, what's the outcome going to be? That you do it or that you don't do it? That you don't do it easily. Yeah. So our thoughts are the first step in deciding whether we achieve something or not. Okay. Now, step number, what makes us believe? What makes us believe? Do our beliefs just one day spring out of nowhere? Were our beliefs handed to us on the day of our birth, like birthmarks? Did we create them ourselves? Did we get them? Our beliefs are not accidents by nature. Our beliefs are created and directed entirely by our, okay, now this is something we've talked about, our brains, wiring, and what? What do you guys think? What do you think makes us have those beliefs? Luca.
Answer her.
What do you think makes us have those beliefs?
I don't remember.
That's okay. All right, Miss Presley, what do you think? What do you think makes us have those beliefs?
I think what makes us have those beliefs is like maybe when we like see a movie or something, or like our like or something that happens in our life, like an event that like you may believe in the Easter Bunny or something, like believe in Santa or something. Like they come from something that you do in your life, you see in your life, something that maybe happens.
Okay, so she's definitely on the right track. So she's saying it comes from what we see, hear, smell, taste, feel, all of the things that we take into our bodies and that go into our brains. What is the word I'm looking for? It starts with a P, Miss Ann.
Oh, mine didn't start with a P. I was going to say experiences.
Experiences, that's good. Our experiences create our brains. This is what we were talking about in the previous chapters. Emily?
Oh. Programming?
Our programming. Good job. Good job. That was the tough one. Okay, so step number 5 is our programming. So that is what we've been programmed to believe. So we talked about our 5 senses. Everything we see, hear, taste, smell, touch controls our thoughts, controls our brain's programming. So our very first thing is our programming. Okay, so I'm going to read this actually. So whether our programming is right or wrong, we've accepted what the outside world has fed us. We've accepted what we think, what we've fed ourselves. That's all a part of our programming. This, we don't need to get into a ton of detail right this second because we have talked about it so much. So I'm going to read these 5 steps one more time, and then I want to see who can tell me all 5. Okay. Our programming creates our beliefs. Our beliefs create our attitudes create our feelings determine our actions, and our actions create results. So that's how the brain works. If you can manage yourself in a better way and change your results, you can do so at any time that you choose. So start with the first step, which is our programming. And that talks about how do we affect our programming? The name of the book. How do we affect our programming, our brain's programming? Hannah?
What we tell ourselves.
What we say to ourselves, our thoughts, exactly. Okay, now who can tell me the 5 steps? Who can tell me what the 5 steps were? The 5 steps that control our success or failure. Who can tell me all 5? Harley? Go ahead, Harley.
Feelings, attitudes, beliefs, and programming.
Very good, very good. Good job. Okay, yes, so it starts with our programming, it goes to our beliefs, attitude, feelings, and actions. All right, so that's chapter 8. Let's go ahead and just well, first, does anyone have any questions about chapter 8 before we go on to stars and kind of stuff? Any questions? Jarek, go ahead, Jarek.
What is chapter 8?
We're reading this book. We're reading What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. And every day we're doing a different chapter. So we are on chapter 8 today, which is what we've been talking about today, is everything that's in chapter 8. So tomorrow morning we'll go on to chapter 9 and we'll talk about that one. Any other questions about anything in the book? Keelan?
How do you get that book?
So once you have been, you can buy it yourself if you want to. Once you've been on 5 of these Matt chats, I will mail you a copy of the book. I've already mailed out like 20 of them. I don't think any of them have arrived yet. I know Amazon's shipping with everything right now is a little delayed. So it wasn't normal 2-day shipping. Has anyone received their book yet? No, I didn't think so. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and move on. We're going to talk about stars. I'm actually going to review the announcements that I made in the very beginning. So for our classes, we do on Monday and Wednesday have a 12:15 Tiger Dragon class, 1 p.m. beginners class, 2 p.m. intermediate class, 3 p.m. advanced class, 4 p.m. black belt class. 5 p.m. on Monday, master's class. 5 p.m. on Wednesday is leaders class. 6 p.m. Monday and Wednesday, family class. So Tigers and Dragons all the way up until black belt. We're actually going to kind of play with, yesterday we did every single person's curriculum, which was awesome. We did the Tiger Dragon curriculum, beginners, intermediate, and advanced in that class. Where I talked to Miss Becky and she might help me with doing, there's a way to do breakout groups on here. We can split you guys into different classes if we need to. So we're going to keep that family class 6 p.m. We also on Saturday, every Saturday starting this Saturday, we're going to have a 10 a.m. GUP class. So all ages, all ranks for GUP students, and then 11 a.m. Tiger and Dragon classes. So those are all virtual, the same meeting code. I really, really, really encourage you guys to get on those. A lot of people are earning their stripes, getting ready for belt testing. We may end up having virtual belt testing. So we'll kind of play that by ear, but make sure you guys are on those virtual classes and getting your training in. You guys do have the option of doing private lessons with an instructor once a week as well. So you can contact a studio or contact a specific instructor if you want to do that. If you have any stars, please make sure those are listed in the chat because I'm going to start going through those now. When I call your name, please let me know which stars you did. And then after we finish stars, we'll talk about people who have their 5 Matt chats in. All right, so Miss Rihanna, you have 2 stars. Which 2 character building sheets do you have?
Do I have to draw one?
Oh, Rihanna, are you on here still? Hello, hello. I don't see her right now, actually. All right.
Rihanna left. Rihanna left the group. She had another meeting, she said.
Oh, okay. All right. So Rihanna had 2 stars, though. All right. Luca has 3 stars. Luca, go ahead and show us which character building sheets you did.
You don't have the sheets your mom sent.
I don't have the sheets. My mom's gonna send a picture of what sheets I am done with.
Okay, perfect. Well, good job. Everybody clap for Luca because he got 3 stars today. All right, Piper had 2 stars. So Piper, go ahead and share with us which character building sheets you did. All right, I'm going to move on to the Burks. Do the Burks have stars? 19 stars each, and it's your 5th Matt chat. All right, so the Burks, which character building sheets did you do?
The black belt excellent sheets.
The week of like chores and stuff?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's 7, and then which other ones did you guys have?
Well, that's our third 7 though for here.
We have a total of like 9.
Oh, you have a total of 19, but for today you're turning in the 7.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. All right, so you guys have 7 each. Good. So everyone clap for them for getting those 7 in. That's awesome.
Excuse
All
me.
right. And Lane, you have
Excuse
13
me?
stars. Why don't you share with us which stars you did, Lane?
The karate homework, the 5 codes, the confidence quarries, number 3, number 2, number 5, and the defined commitment, and then I have the victory book.
Very good. And do you want to share your victory book with us?
No, 14. Yes, ma'am. So that's 14.
Okay.
Let's say, I am strong, I am flexible, I am sweet, I am nice, I get ABs at school, I am cute, and I'm courteous.
Very nice. I love it. Good job. Everyone clap for Lane. Good job. Good job. All right. Next is Harley and Corbin. Harley and Corbin each have 8. Which ones do you guys
Answer
have?
my question.
We have the black belt excellence sheet, and we also have the good character.
Good. Very good. Everybody clap for Harley and Corbin. Good job, guys. Okay. Let's see. Any other stars? Connor, you have 1 star. Which one do you have?
I have the character building sheet number 1.
Good. Everybody clap for Connor. Good job, Connor. Okay. Good. All right. If anyone else has stars, go ahead and hold those up. Anybody else have stars? Hold up your character building sheets if you have them. All right. Jonathan?
Yeah, I got character building sheet number 7.
Good. Okay. And you have the full week filled out?
Yeah.
Perfect. Everyone clap for Jonathan. Good. So that's 7 stars. Very good. Good, good, good. Okay. And Mackenzie?
I don't have any character building sheets, but I just wanted to say this is my 6th time being on the video chat.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Caleb White, do you have character building sheets?
I got a star from Miss Katie's challenge.
Good. So Miss Katie is checking in the stars from her challenge. That's awesome. Good job. Good job. Good job. All right, Miss Stella. You're muted, sweetie.
I have 7 stars, and it is the sheet number 6.
Very good. Everybody clap for Stella. Good job, Stella. Okay, any other stars? Going once, going twice. Presley? How many do you have, Presley?
I have the self-discipline sheet.
Very good. Good. Everyone clap for Presley. Good job. Okay, today is the last day of March. So the last day where our theme of the month is confidence. So if you've not done your victory book, please make sure you do that today. Just spend a couple minutes, make a little book. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I know we had a couple people, it was Avina that did it on the computer. I don't remember if it was, I might be wrong, but some people were doing theirs on the computer. Miss Ann made a really nice brochure. I know Kalia has an awesome 3-ring binder for hers. So you guys are welcome to do it really nice like that. But if you want to just make a little book out of cardstock, you're welcome to do it that way. So get your victory books in, And I will see everyone for Mat Chat tomorrow morning. Have a great, oh, there's a couple questions in here. So if you guys want to go, you can. Have a great day. I'm going to go ahead and answer any other questions that anybody has. Okay, so for masters, it is, we are doing staff and board breaking next month. So that's what the Friday seminar is. Leaders on Thursday, or on Wednesday. I mean, I'm not sure what we're doing with in leaders on Wednesday. I'm not positive, but I'll announce that. I'll send out a text with that. Okay, I think that was it for questions in here. All right, does anyone else have any questions? Mackenzie?
Am I getting my book since I've done more than 5?
Did you tell me yesterday that you did 5?
No, because this is my 5th one.
Oh, okay. I thought you said today was your 6th one. Then yes, ma'am. Yes, we'll send you your book.
Okay.
All right, good job. Thanks for joining us too. Then Skylar? You're muted, Skylar.
This is my 4th Mat Chat.
Good. Okay, so tomorrow will be your 5th. And guys, when you get that book, the goal is to continue to come on the Mat Chat so we can read it together. So make sure you stay on these. All right, Nicholas?
Am I getting my book?
What?
Am I getting my book?
Did you already tell me that you had your 5 Mat Chats? Then yes, sir. We already sent them out.
Okay.
Hayden?
This is my 5th Mat Chat.
Awesome. Good. Okay. I will send out your book. Keelan?
Bye.
Goodbye, Keelan. Have a great day.
Bye. You.
Bye, guys. Any other
Bye.
questions? Destiny?
Yesterday was Aaliyah's 5th Mat Chat.
Good. I think I already mailed you guys a book, so it's only one book per family. I think I already mailed you guys out one. But I will double check. I'll double check. Right. Okay. Let's see. I got a couple other people say they can bye. We'll write that down.
Should be fine.